So my name is Saeed Arida. I am the founder and the Chief Excitement Officer. It's the CEO, basically. So I came to this country, specifically to MIT, basically in 2002 from Syria. I did my undergraduate in architecture there in Damascus University. And when I came here, my whole plan was to become a world-renowned architect. And I became a lot more interested in the pedagogy aspect of it, in the pedagogy of the architecture studio. And interestingly enough, not many people really wrote about these things. There is, the famous person who also worked, who was a professor at MIT, Donald Schoen, who wrote a book about the reflective practitioner and another less known book called The Design Studio. And he outlines basically the pedagogy of the design studio and the value of the studio thinking outside of the architecture school. And that's, I think, in my head when there's a light bulb just happened. It's like, how can we take this studio environment that I've been involved in teaching for the past 3 years and transfer it to another context. And for almost a whole year, the plan was to take something like this and create a new college in Syria that is based on this model. This was in 2009, 2010. The politics of it made things almost impossible. And at the time, I was, we've done all this research around this topic. How can we basically use this in a different context? So we initially started 5.5 years ago with a big partnership with Beaver Country Day School. And the first thing that the head of the school, Peter, told me is these are the same 21st century skills that we try to cultivate with our kids. So when we came to them, we really came exactly at the right time, where they have been kind of searching for something like this for a while. And after talking for a while, we actually landed on this idea that the kids basically need to leave their school completely for 3 months and come here. So that's how we started, with 20 kids from Beaver Country Day School. And over the last 5 years, we basically added 25 more kids from different places. So we have kids from the public high school, CRLS, in Cambridge. We have kids from CSW. We have also kids from Phoenix Charter Academy in Chelsea. And we have also a lot of independent kids who are either homeschooled or from other also private schools in the area. We are set up as a for-profit entity that is tuition-based. And I think if we just look at it from a financial standpoint, the organization is very sustainable at this point. We get asked this question a lot: why is it a for-profit? None of us who started this program really wanted to be starting a school. We wanted to make products. We wanted, to be innovators. And if people are willing to pay for it, then we will exist in 5 years. And if people don't want to pay for it, then we stop existing. We were pretty adamant on this idea that we are creating a product, and if the product is successful, it will sustain itself. So we get a lot of people here who think this is what the future of education should be, but then when you start helping them basically to transition into something that looks like this, you hit a lot of hurdles. And I feel like now the time is ripe for a lot of these places to basically make the transition. But it's still, do you have a system, especially the K-12 system, that is so kind of strong and archaic and entrenched, and it's really hard to kind of break it apart. I think the main thing that we're really striving for now is really change the momentum of K-12 education. This is the ultimate goal. We just want to increase that momentum towards something that looks very different.